Hi, me again. I've lost my helper. She does not want to watch me clean. Shocking. She did handle the very hot barn. All right, so we've got my thing, my dishes in the dishwasher. This just goes in my dishwasher. So I don't really do anything with it. I just kind of like rinse it out. And rinse this part off. My dishwasher is finishing cleaning now, so I'm just going to stick it over here with feather going dishes. I have my filter here. And I'm just going to throw it. Okay, and then I'm just going to come back and make sure that everything is like visibly clean in my sink. Sometimes I have to do a little bit of scrubbing because, you know, I actually harvested honey. So that's what's happening right now. So there's a little bit of honey in there. And you can still see our honey thing tilted over right there. That's not always there. So that was fun. So just kind of like scrub it out as needed. And then I have, oh, the thing that's holding up my phone right now. Try to find something different. There we go. I just have this covering for outside. And I just gotta squirt it in around the edges. There you can see that. At the top so it can like roll on down. And that's it. I don't do anything with it. Then I have this bucket right here that I use for my water. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse out my lid. This is just like a cool water. I'm sorry, this is so long. Try to be fast. Oops, not even a good angle. Sorry about that. Let me just pause so you don't have to hear this. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna rinse off the top too. And that's just cool water. Put my bucket in here. Rinse off my rim here. And start letting it fill up. And then I have my claw thing. And then I have my hose that goes outside. I don't always bring it in, and mostly just like visually see if it seems like it needs a little something, and it had a little bit of moisture inside of it. So I am just going to rinse it out. And then it'll be ready to heat. Alright, I'm going to park my wagon over there and I'll be right back. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and start filling up this little guy. Every once in a while I'll have grossness on my hoses. They always feel dirty, but not always like, you can't always like tell what they're dirty with. So I just kind of like wipe them down before I start putting things through my hoses, through my This never happens. Only the best for y'all. Sorry, the most time-consuming video I can make. I'm sorry about that. That usually takes like that. Anyway, here we go. I'm gonna run cold water through it. I went ahead and turned my water to hot. So put that over there. My hose is in. my cloth and get my brush. I typically have like some milk residue right underneath the lip, right underneath the top. And sometimes like in this little bottom part you kind of come, sometimes not. Sometimes I do a better job, I guess, with the cloth. Just a second. Sorry about that. Please tell me that your kids fight and are naked as often as mine are. I grew up. Alright, now my water is hot. Put that on there. And I'm going to make sure that everything's rinsed off again. As my water really gets uncomfortable to touch. Alright. That all the way down. That was in there. And put that in there. And then I use this. Wait for it to fill. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it. All right, sorry. I'm just trying to make this video as short as possible. All right, so I've ran the soap through. I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing off and then throw that on there. And then I'm just going to leave it soapy on this counter over here. And then I'm going to pull this up. And get the outside. Inside is hot. Good heavens. Alright. So then I kind of like just go through the bottom of it. You don't realize how much noise they make until you're trying to get video. For other people in here, and you're like, oh my good heavens, it is more. It is too much. It's more than the average person can handle. Okay, and then I just want to take this, and then I pour it over the top of my stuff. Really quick so you can kind of see the way that it looks in here. And then I clean each one on the outside. Kind of have the drain a little plugged. It still drains, but the bucket kind of keeps it from draining all the way, so it gives me a little bit of extra time here. With the water and the sides. And then I'm going to rinse it out. Alright, finishing up my hot water rinse. I'll pull this thing out of my bucket. Stick it back on. Stick that back on. And then I'm going to put it back to cooler water. And for my bucket, I actually prefer this. I do like, I'm not doing my milking machine today, but I do like the tank. I like this, I prefer this for that since it doesn't have suds. So I actually like the suds over here. I'm not really exactly sure why. I can never get these things to work exactly how I would hope. That through it. Alright, I just finished running the sanitizer through there. So now I'm going to go ahead and unplug my machine. I have this old pump in here. And so it's lucky that I'm plugging way back and forth. You have this one, it stays inside. And then today we have this short one that goes outside so they can drain really well. And then this we'll take these off. All right, and so here is how that looks. And let's look here at our milking machine. We are at 44. And then we're gonna come back over here and finish up the cleaning. All right, I'm done with all this. Let that get hot again. Take this thing apart. Loosen this up. For this part, I just use our regular like Dawn soap, double squirt, hot water, put it in there. This thing, put it over here on the drying rack. This one. Go ahead and take this off, stick it in there. The sanitizer. It's not hot anymore. Just stick some on the top. Alright, knock some of my bubbles off. I don't typically do any fancy scrubbing, just let the hot soapy water on it. Water's too hot for me. I'm gonna strain some of it out. And then I just rinse out my cleaning bucket that I have. Stick it over here. Take my lid, stick it over, and then pull out the rest of this. All right, I've got all the parts out, and now I'm just gonna kind of like aggressively swish this remaining sanitizer throughout my bucket. Kind of gets the outside, make sure it gets the bottom. And then done top. And then I'll bring it to dry.